I was going to mime if it didn't come up. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Welcome to Beacon Unitarian Universalist Congregation in Summit, a community of imperfect people seeking to heal the world as we feed our spirits together. My name is Jermaine Kripe. My pronouns are she, her, and I am a member of your Lifespan Ministry team coming here. I am a plus-size African-American woman with blue and slightly too much gray hair in a mustard-colored dress. Thank you for joining us this morning here in the ancestral lands of the Lenni Lenape. You could very well have stayed in your own world, but in your own head and in your own bed and feeling an experience today on your own, but you chose something different. You've chosen to come to be in this space of fellowship, even virtually, and with other sojourners seeking ways to reconnect and rejuvenate, because we have been given yet another day to be the change so desperately needed in this world. If you're a newer person in our community, I invite you to join us after this service for connecting with Reverend Robin upstairs in the library, or if you're tuning in online, you'll check out the chat, and that will be where the link is to do it virtually. It'll be a chance for you to be introduced to this community and how you can be a part of it. This morning also marks the return of the Youth Boutique. Believe it or not, there's some high schoolers in this joint besides Lucy and Henry, and you actually can get to see a couple of them and actually check out the wares in support of their ministry. They've got books, they've got t-shirts, they've got water bottles. Go downstairs to Fellowship Hall for social hour.
Bracelets, I bought too.
At bracelets as well, and help support them. While you're down in Fellowship Hall, you'll also be able to partake in our social hour. We'll have coffee and some sweets and a special treat being put together for you by our children this morning, but we will not tell you what it is. So you'll have to go downstairs to check it out. So welcome, you questioners, pilgrims longing for sanctuary, and those who are holding on by a thread. You're determined to break the chains of loneliness and isolation, so we welcome you. All of you who seek a spiritual and religious community for your children and your grandchildren. We welcome all of you, and we thank you for your gifts of trust, of joy, and of curiosity. We can commit and recommit to creating brave spaces and being accountable to one another as an anti-racist, anti-oppressive community that centers marginalized voices, particularly when what they have to say to us is hard to hear. And when we break our covenants and our agreements, there's grace enough for us to forgive each other here. This place is filled with possibility. So welcome, friends, both new and old, near and far away. Sit down for a spell and join us. Welcome home.
Thank you, Jermaine. My name is Tuli Patel, and my pronouns are she, hers. And I'd like to ask our little ones, young ones, 5th grade and under, when we gather for the first time, what's the first thing we do? Yeah, yes, John. The candle, otherwise known as? The chalice. Nice job. We light our chalice. So here we have gathered this Sunday morning, and we start with our chalice lighting. It's going to be a call and response. So I say the words, and you say them back to me, all right? We light this chalice. For the light of truth and reality. The warmth of compassion. And the fire of commitment and promise. We light this chalice. Symbol of our faith. As we gather together. Nicely done.
I invite you to rise in body or spirit and join in singing our opening hymn, number 126, which is Come Thou Fount of Every Blessing. It's number 126. Come Thou Fount of every blessing, tune our hearts to sing Thy grace, streams of mercy never ceasing, call for songs of loudest praise, while the home of Life's perfection fills our hearts with joy and love. Teach us Thank you, John O'Neill, for your piano playing as always. My name is Misa Iwam. I'm the Director of Music Ministry. My pronouns are she and her. We are so glad that you are all with us today.
Thank you, Misa. So we begin our story for all ages with first a collective bow. Everybody bow. To P.D. Eastman and his book, Are You My Mother? And also for this story for all ages, I am Mallory. Nice name, yes? Can you say Mallory? Mallory. All right, here we go. So hi, people. I am Mallory. And here's my good friend, Jermaine. And Jermaine, you have something with you?
This is Jeevan.
You want to turn the mic on, Jermaine?
But I'll just get it out.
Live stream needs your
There it
mic.
is.
There it is.
This is Jeevan.
Ooh, okay.
Hi, Mallory. Will you be my friend like Jermaine is?
Maybe. What are you?
I'm me.
Yeah, this is Jeevan.
Yeah. But are you like a camel or a horse or a tadpole? What are you?
What are all these things you speak of? I'm not sure what to call myself. But I do know that I see you and I hear you. And look, I have these furry things on my arm. Wait, is that an arm?
Yeah, it's an arm.
Yeah, great. I'm so glad you can hear me and see me. But whom do you belong to? They must look like you and have some kind of name?
You mean like who do I hang out with? Like my friend Jermaine and maybe you, if you'll be my friend.
Yeah, but what are you?
I'm me.
Yeah, Jeevan's Jeevan.
Dear dude, you're just being difficult. Who's your family? Don't they look like you?
Not really. Everyone in my family is very different. I have furry things, but my mom has spiky things, and my other mom has curly hair, but mine is like this.
I think you, Jeevan, need to go out and find out more about who you belong to and what you are. Like, come up with a name.
Can I make it up? Like what's wrong with Jaffafurfer?
Sorry, there's no such thing as Jaffafurfer. The way you find out is where you've come from and who you belong to.
This is so confusing. I came from stage left, and I belong to me, my friends, my family, but I guess this is making you mad, and I'd like you to be my friend. So I'll go looking. Jermaine, will you help me find out who I am? Hi there. Do I belong to you? Ooh. You're my people. And hello there. Do I look like you?
I guess.
Okay. All right. Well, moving along. So, you there. What are you? You're a person. A person. Am I a person? I'm a person. A person. Okay. So here's the deal, Mallory. I went searching, and this is what I learned. I belong here at this time with these persons. I think they're called persons.
Okay,
People.
so you're a people, a person. Great. Now we can be friends. I just needed to know what you are.
Thank you, Mallory. I'm so excited. But you know what? I think I'll make friends with those who aren't so worried about the what, especially if they have parts that are not furry or spiky or curly. I think I'm learning belonging isn't only about the what. Sometimes it's barely about the what at all, but instead about stories, feelings, the laughter you've shared with the people, the food you eat, the way you sing together, or the threads in the quilt you pull over you at night to sleep. You think you can know me, Mallory, just because I'm a llama.
Ha! You're a llama. I knew it. Llama liar.
But that's not my whole story. Not how I belong. You have to work to learn about me. like Jermaine here's been doing.
Yeah, I learned so much about llamas. What I found out is llamas very much like cows. Regurgitate their food and chew it a second time. It's awesome.
Yummy.
Okay, so Jivan, you do you. Jermaine, you do you.
That's exactly my plan, Mallory. Together with this room full of very odd-looking ostriches.
They're people, Jivan. They're people, humans.
Potato, patata.
Here ends our story for all ages.
Great. Yeah, it's nice. Yeah. Good morning, Beacon. My name's Kathleen. My pronouns are she and her, and I'm a chaplain here at Beacon. Chaplains extend the spiritual care of our community in many ways. One of the ways that we do that each Sunday is the candle lighting ritual. So together we light candles of joy, of sorrow, and of gratitude. This morning, we light a candle of sorrow for those who are continually impacted by the climate crisis across the world, with flooding in Pakistan and fires in the West. And also, we light a candle of gratitude. We light a candle of gratitude for the changing of the seasons, for the cool autumn mornings and crisp evenings that we are all enjoying. So for this, and for so much more, we invite you all now to come forward and light a candle here in our sanctuary or wherever you may be.
My life flows on in endless song above earth's lamentation. I hear the real, the far-off hymn that hails a new creation. No storm can shake my inmost calm, while to that rock I'm clinging, since love prevails in heaven and earth. How can I keep from singing? Through all the tumult and the strife, I hear that music ringing. It finds an echo in my soul. How can I keep from singing? No storm can shake my inmost calm, while to that rock I'm clinging, since love prevails in heaven and earth. How can I keep from singing? How can I keep from singing?
Good morning. Our reading today is titled Love After Love, written by Derek Walcott. The time will come when, with elation, you will greet yourself arriving at your own door, in your own mirror, and each will smile at each other's welcome and say, "Sit here, eat." You will love again the stranger who was yourself. Give wine, give bread, give back your heart to itself, to the stranger who has loved you all your life, whom you ignored for another, who knows you by heart. Take down the love letters from the bookshelf, the photographs, the desperate notes. Peel your own image from the mirror. Sit, feast on your life. So far, our reading. We next, for the next few minutes, have a brief mindfulness meditation being moment. And we can prepare ourselves for this by taking a relaxed but still firm seat in our chairs. Maybe uncross our legs, put our feet firmly on the ground. If you so feel, gently close your eyes or pick a point to focus your gaze on. And we're going to start by doing one of the most difficult things, which is to be. Maybe one of the easiest things at the same time. We start by bringing our full mind, our consciousness, our awareness to this very moment, right here, right now. The present moment is our present. We bring it also to this place, right here. And we can start by centering ourselves on our breath. We breathe every moment of every day and every night. But now we do it with purpose. We do it with awareness. We notice it. We feel our chest rising with air. We feel our body getting in sync with this motion of simply breathing in and breathing out. And as we do this, we also take inventory. We're going to do a little self-checkup of our physical state. How is our mind? How is our body? How is our heart? And we're going to start at the very top of our head. We're going to scan it, notice it, be aware of it, and gently go down from the crown of our head to our forehead, to our eyebrows, our eyes, our nose, our mouth, our chin, our neck. And if, as we are scanning, you notice some tension, you notice some uneasement, try to bring compassion, try to bring loving kindness to that part of your body. If you feel tension, see if you can release it. Send it into the wider universe. If you get distracted, if your mind wanders, it goes to another time, maybe in the past, maybe in the future, goes to another place. That's okay. Be kind to yourself. Notice your wandering mind and gently bring it back to this very moment and this very place. And we continue our scan. We feel our neck, our shoulders, our chest. We gently go down our spine. We feel our stomach, our digestion. We feel our arms, our hands, our fingers. We go further down. We feel all the way to our tailbone, our pelvis. We feel our legs and the back of our legs as they are supported by the chair or the couch that we sit on. We feel our knees. We feel our calves, our ankles. We feel how the floor supports our feet and our toes. And we feel grounded. At this moment, invite your entire self, your entire body, including parts that are not visible, your entire mind, your entire heart. Try to connect, if you can, to a sense of belonging, a sense of security, a sense of gratitude. Notice where any part of your being is tender. Be gentle. If there's a part of your being that needs attention or care, pause there. Find loving kindness, tenderness, compassion to yourself. You are worthy. You are enough. You are beautiful and wonderfully made every moment of every day. We will take a few more moments. Focus on our breath, being here, being now. And in a few moments, we will start to gently come back to this space. We keep this sense of blessing, grounding, and belonging. We might gently open our eyes, come back to the light of each other, come back to the light within. Amen.
As the season of the high holy days in Judaism is now upon us, I invite you to join in singing hymn 216, Hashivenu. The words mean, "Return us, Adonai, and we shall truly return. Renew our days as in the past." This is 216. Hashivenu, Hashivenu, Adonai Elecha, v'noshuva
Hello, my name is Rhoda Kleiman-Haga, and my pronouns are she, her. Let me tell you a story about belonging, something I started writing in Beacon's writing group. For a good portion of my younger life, I wasn't sure if I belonged. I had friends, went to college, but I guess something hadn't clicked. Chinese culture and biology both interested me. I tried going the route of getting a PhD in anthropology, but somehow that wasn't quite right. I tried working in a lab. That wasn't quite right either. Finally, I thought to put it together and study Chinese medicine. A light went on, and I was soon in love. When I got to acupuncture school in my 30s, for the first time, I felt like I was right where I belonged. The people around me were also in love, and we worked together with passion. Of course, we had our differences, but we had in common a desire to learn this medicine that felt fascinating and true, and then to use it to help other people. For most, this was also tied in with some kind of spirituality. It was a meeting of the minds and of souls. It was finding my calling. After the first year of study together, we became a tight group, and sometimes laughed at ourselves when we noticed we were excitedly talking about bodily functions over lunch. We supported each other through our studies, but also in our personal lives. Thanks to this group, I had the community I needed to leave a bad relationship, and was welcomed to bring my daughter with me as a newly single mom. Others were supported through relationship changes, losses, personal growth. Cultures met and learned about each other, sometimes clashing, but mostly getting along. We grew together like the roots of trees, intertwining and nourishing each other at the same time as the branches dance around in the air. When we graduated, we began to go our separate ways. Sure, I still have some connections, but I also found belonging can be impermanent. It comes and goes. A few years ago, I had some other life losses that led me to New Jersey to be near family. So again, I was looking for community, for belonging, and I came across Summit Beacon UU. Quickly, I saw that not only could this be a place to belong, it was a place that actively nourishes community and a shared passion for justice and equity. Little by little, I'm finding I'm right where I belong, once again. Our stories matter, yours and mine. They help us make meaning of our lives and the world around us. That's what a religious community does. Grounds us in our values and reminds us that we are part of something larger than ourselves. Our mission comes alive in our stories. Now we move into a time where we give generously to magnify Beacon's light in our lives and in the world. In a minute, you'll see ways to contribute to Beacon. We invite you to lean into this practice of generosity. I know firsthand it makes a difference. Thank you.
Thank you, Rhoda, for the gift of your story this day. I'm Reverend Robin, pronouns she, her, and our morning offering will now be most gratefully received.
invite you to rise in body or spirit and join in singing hymn number 121. This is We'll Build a Land, and we will sing one verse. It's hymn 121. We'll build a land where we bind up the broken. We'll build a land where the captives go free, where the oil of gladness dissolves all our mourning. Oh, we'll build a promised land that can be. God, build a land where sisters and brothers, anointed by God, may then create peace, where justice shall roll down like the waters, and peace like an ever-flowing stream.
It is good to sing together, and I hope that some who are joining us on the live stream are belting it out in your car, your living room. I think you can belt out We'll Build a Land, right, Misa? Yeah. I begin with the words of the teacher, Azriel Rochelle. The only true belonging is the courage to stand alone and belong to ourselves. The only true belonging is the courage to stand alone and belong to ourselves. It was early in the year, in 2017. I remember it was cold, and I had just officially moved to New Jersey with my spouse and our then 2-year-old twins, Ella and Kirk. You may remember the time. Donald Trump had just been inaugurated as president, and there were political flags flying all over in my neighborhood where our rental was, mostly in favor of President Trump. I was in a new community, in a new congregation, in a place that I had never lived before. And so, to say the least, I did not feel like I belonged. I noticed a group of seemingly progressive parents at the preschool where the twins were attending, and so I started doing what anyone would do, stalking them on Facebook. Trying to determine if these folks would be friendly to this queer newcomer in that community. It seemed, after several weeks of an intensive study on Instagram and Facebook, that indeed they might be the friendly type. And so one chilly morning, I put on my yellow coat that exudes extroversion and courage and repeated this mantra to myself as I made my way to drop off the twins. This is not middle school. This is not middle school. I had mustered the courage. You got the pun. Good for you. First service did not get the pun, not even a little bit. It's early. And I saw this group of parents standing outside in a kind of croissant, to quote Dr. Tooley and Jermaine, right? An open, semi-open circle, and they were laughing, and they sounded happy to be with one another, and like they might welcome me. And so I started to make my way across the lawn toward them with a big smile. And that was when that croissant suddenly turned into a donut. And the circle was closed. What's worse is they looked right through me, stopped talking, and then resumed their laughter and whispers. I can tell by some of the sounds you are making here in the sanctuary that maybe you've experienced something like this before. Now, I'm a whole-grown woman with a great deal of courage, but that was a real sucker punch. This feeling is not uncommon. Not getting invited to the cool parents group or the neighborhood barbecue at the house where the music always sounds like it's the life of the party. Or workers, colleagues who go out on a Friday night and you learn of all of their fun days later on social media. Collegial gatherings, high school cliques, the in-group, the cool kids. We have endless phrases to describe the experience of being forced on the outside, of not belonging. This year was markedly different for me than 2017. We've moved to a different community that is a lot friendlier, a lot more intentional about building community, and I even got invited to a parents' breakfast. My kids are making friends, and even though the pandemic is persisting, there's a sense of community coming back, school coming back, activities coming back. And so I was riding high on this wave of social inclusion when I read a social media post in the parents group in our town from a woman just a few streets over who was having the exact same experience I had in 2017. I went to the very first PTA meeting I've ever been to in my life with these contrasting experiences, right? Suddenly being included and knowing that someone a few streets over was having just the opposite experience. And so I walked into that PTA room really set to be inclusive. And then I saw people I know. And you know where this is going. I sat next to them, and there were a few folks sitting alone, and I suddenly, without even thinking, turned my body to shut them out of the circle. The opposite of belonging, according to Brené Brown, is fitting in. I'll say that again. The opposite of belonging is fitting in. True belonging, she says, requires you to be who you are and to never betray yourself. Whereas fitting in tends to be an endless series of acts of excluding others and yourself. You never show up fully when you're trying to fit in. Trying to hide the fact, perhaps, that you're tens of thousands of dollars in debt, trying to hide the fact that your marriage is crumbling, or that you're afraid for your child, that you don't have an amazing relationship with your family, or that you're carrying such immense grief and rage that you've no idea how to answer the question, hey, how are you doing? Fitting in demands a certain facade. I think we tend to think of belonging like at a very visceral level, and this was my experience at that PTA meeting, almost like water, a precious resource that you contain and preserve when you have it, and that if you're to share it, it would be diminished. But belonging, beloved, is far more akin to fire. It's not diminished when it's shared. It's magnified. Adrienne Marie Brown, an organizer and social theorist, thinks and writes extensively about the concept of belonging. And she says that we've confused belonging with identity. She says identity is something externally defined by the world. It's what people say you are. It's the argument between Mallory and Jivan, right? What are you? But belonging, she says, belonging is about community, like Rhoda shared in her story. She goes on to say that those with histories of forced displacements and disconnections, the work of belonging becomes both spiritual and somatic. In her words from this month's community group packet, belonging doesn't begin with other people accepting us. It begins with our acceptance of ourselves, of the particular life and skin each of us was born into, and the work that that particular birth entails. From that deep place of belonging to ourselves, we can understand that we are inherently worthy of each other. Even when we make mistakes, when we harm each other, when we lose our way, we are worthy. When we belong to ourselves and this earth again, you see, extending belonging to others, making those croissants, not donuts, it's an embodied expression of our internal reality. It flows. So how do we make friends as adults? We have to start with ourselves. Never cast yourself outside the circle of your own light. Our faith teaches a universalism that many of our spiritual ancestors died for. They believed and taught about a love that does not let go. And I don't know about you, but I've been preaching about that universalism for a while, and it's always about somebody else, right? Like in a person I can imagine that can never be outside the circle of love. But that teaching is about us too. It's about you too. It's about me too. In truth, I am still fighting the demons of fitting in that whisper, you're almost there. Don't let them know everything. Like Mallory conflating the what of who I am told that I am with the deeper question of how I belong to myself, to my communities, and to our earth. Several months ago, a little girl, Ari, came into our care. Some of you may have met her or seen her during our candle lighting on Sundays. She's had significant dislocations and disruptions in her life, being taken from her home and brought into ours, and then a major surgery just a month later where all of her baby teeth had to be removed. I saw on social media a parent whose practice is that while she does her daughter's hair, she does it in front of a mirror, she says affirmations, and her daughter repeats them. And I thought, well, this might be a really good way to build her self-esteem and sense of self. I also read an article that children's body self-esteem and self-worth is not correlated with what their parents say about them. You're beautiful, honey. You're gorgeous. You're so strong. It's correlated with what their parents say about their own bodies and self-worth. No pressure, right? So Ari and I began this practice of affirmations. Now that's not hard, right? It's not hard to tell an adorable 4-year-old in front of a mirror every night, you are beautiful, you are strong, you are smart, you are loved. And we've gotten into this practice so much that at nighttime she says, mirror, mirror, and she knows it's time, right? Well, a couple weeks ago, we were in the midst of our ritual. She said, mirror, mirror, and we went through the litany, and she wanted to do it again, so I did it again. And then she pointed to me and said, beautiful. And I said, yes, Ari is beautiful. You know what's coming. And she pointed to me and said, beautiful, looking a little more frustrated. And I said, yes, Ari is beautiful. And then it looked like she worried about my language comprehension as she pointed, now more insistently, and said, beautiful. And at last I understood and kind of chuckled, and I thought we were good and said, okay, let's go to bed. But it wasn't enough. She started moving her arms with that frustration of a 4-year-old, right? That they are going to engage in nonviolent civil disobedience at any minute. And she kept pointing. And so there it was on an ordinary night. I got a lesson in belonging from a 4-year-old. I am beautiful, I said. I am strong. I am smart. I am loved. The poet tells us the time will come when with elation you will greet yourself arriving at your own door, in your own mirror, and each will smile at the other's welcome. All your life, whom you ignored for another who knows you by heart. Take down the love letters from the bookshelf, the photographs, the desperate notes. Peel your image from the mirror. Sit. Feast on your life. Come, beloved. Remember that light. Remember the truth of your belonging. Remember and peer with me now in this mirror. Let us together magnify the greatest light that has always been there. Magnify this love and know in your bones the original blessing. You too belong here in the creation of things. You are beautiful. You are strong. You are smart. You are loved. Amen.
Thank you, Reverend Robin. And thank you to all who led our service this morning. And also our ushers, greeters, our AV team, staff, and most of all, to you for joining us today. Please rise in body or spirit to sing Where You Go, I Will Go by Shoshana Jedwell. And if you don't know this song, we'll be singing each line a few times so that you can start picking it up as we sing Where You Go. Where you go, I will go, beloved. Where you go, I will go. Where you go, I will go, beloved. Where you go, I will go. And your people are my people. Your people are mine. Your people are my people. You're divine by divine. And your people are my people. Your people are mine. Your people
invite you, as you are comfortable, to perhaps place hands on one another's shoulders, to take hands, extend the circle. Come, beloved, renew the words once more. Where you go, I will go, beloved. No one cast beyond the circle of this light. Beloved, no one beyond this love and light, now blown out into the world once more. It goes with you always until we meet again. Blessed be, and amen.
Amen.